Hey friends, how are you guys doing? It's Sonia coming to you live today from Junk Monkey Paint Company, drinking my chai tea. It's all overcast outside. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. We are off. We are closed here at our brick and mortar storefront. Of course, if you want to shop online, you could totally shop online, right? Hey Caitlin, thanks for being on here today. Thanks for saying hey as you guys pop in. Tell me who's on here with me. So, got this nightstand that I've had, and I need to finish it up, okay? I started putting on some like darkening layers for the underside of how I'm gonna like basically make this all come together. And I know a lot of you guys asked me about how to work. Hey Joan, hey Elaine, thanks for all being on here. Hey Robin, how are you guys doing? Like, I think it's the middle of the day. It's about what, 1 o'clock in the day or something? So anyway, I want to get this piece done today, and it's actually not a hard job to get it done. So when you're working on pieces, I am that person that if this took me forever to do, like, bless you, then you know what, it would really make me not want to keep painting, but it's so easy. I'm going to show you how I flip it. I'm going to do it live for you guys on here, finish up what I've been working on, and let me take one more sip of my chai tea. What's your favorite tea out there? Are you guys tea drinkers or coffee drinkers? I can be friends with either. But you know what? I think tea might be my go-to. But I love the taste of coffee. Love the taste of coffee. But here's a true story. When I drink coffee, I usually do decaf. Because I think if I actually drank caffeinated, I think my heart might like somehow like burst through my chest, okay? And I don't like that feeling. Bunny, you like chai? It's my favorite. Totally my favorite. So anyway, I figured this might help somebody out here today. So got this lovely nightstand, end stand, whatever you want to call it. It's all solid wood, which is awesome, but man, does it need work. Can you guys see on here, if I brought you in closer, this is nothing but, you know, just rings left over from a cup being on here. There's all kinds of dents and scratches and dings all along here. Love your coffee, Carrie. How do I seal after it? Sorry, what, a chalk paint shiplap? You can do that if you want. Yeah. You can totally paint shiplap if you want, and then I would just use like a poly to seal it. Okay, just use a water base because oil base will yellow your piece over time, which is a lot of the reasons why people thought they had to get away from polys. But now, you know what? Things advance, and we know we get better, right? So now there are polys that are water based. So I'll show you what I did so far, and I'll take you through why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay, so if you're somebody who wants to build layers with 2 different colors, you can pick whatever color you want. But my 2 favorite base go-to colors are either black or brown. We make one of each color, okay? I make a brown that works really, really nice for like barnwood looks, and it's just the perfect brown, okay? And it's called Candy Bar, go figure. Because you know what? I think chocolate's good. Chocolate's good. And the other one is black, right? We do one black, it's a true black. So what I've done here is I've taken my brush. You guys know I am the shabby chip brush queen. Love it. Okay, make sure you're painting with those because especially if you're doing shabby distress style, I'm going to tell you, it's awesome. So what I did basically was just map out all the edges around here. So if you wanted another color to come through under the color you're using, you don't have to think that you have to paint it all, okay? Just think in your mind, where do I want those, the darkness to come through, or that second color, right? So what I did was basically, I took my brush and I did basically a big square, like a big frame around the section. And then I just put a couple swipes in through, okay? Just a couple peekaboos, all right? I'll show you how I bring it all together. Did the same on the legs. I did the same on the other side. And when I'm working on the top, let's work on the top right now. Come on, knee pads, work with me. So when I'm working on the top, I'm kind of going to do the same thing. Remember, I always tell you guys, go in one direction, right? Go in one direction. Do I need to prime this? No, I do not. I'm just grabbing my brush, and now what I'm going to do is just outline the edges of the piece right up here. Just like that. And you guys can watch me paint. Hopefully you're sipping some tea as well. Hey, Vicky. Well, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. You're painting your self table tomorrow? Nice. You know what? I have to tell you that tomorrow, I don't know what you guys have planned for Thanksgiving, but I am just going to have a quiet day with the family, and I'm really looking forward to doing some painting. Matt thinks I have an issue. Does anybody else think I have an issue? Yeah, even on my day off, I love to paint, right? In my coaching group, I always tell the girls, and guys, because I have guys in there too, but I always tell them that, you know what, whatever you do in life in terms of business, if you're going to do your own business, stick with something you love, because even when you have tough days, you know what, you'll love it so much that you'll power through it, right? Because you love it so much. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing some painting, not furniture painting though, but I'm planning to do some canvas painting. So maybe I'll share with you guys basically what I do tomorrow, okay? All right, so here's what we've got right now. Again, I did the frame and a couple swipe overs, just randomness throughout, okay? Throughout the center, leaving it as that. Now you can see this little stand will be beautiful if I completely painted it in black, because black is like that little black dress, right? Everybody needs to have, just so you can dress it up, do whatever you want with it. Goes good with all kinds of accessories. So black is always an awesome color pick if you have no idea what color to do it. Just go with black, go with black. And if you can't decide between going with like a classic color and you might want to do color, go with black and then just, you know, dress it up with the teal colors or those other fun colors that you've been dreaming of and toying with but just can't quite get the confidence to do it, right? So now on the front, these drawers have handles. I am not, for this piece, what I'm trying to do, I have a stencil plan for the top, a transfer plan for the top, and so I'm not planning to play up the handles, okay? So that's why I'm choosing to paint them as well. So I'm going to create shadow in behind the handle. And guys, do you know what color I'm going to use for my top coat? I'll show you how I bring it together. Guess what color? You know I'm a color lover, right? Gonna go with Bahama Jade. So we're going to bring Bahama Jade and black together today. So let's create all of our shadows. So underneath a handle, of course, it will be dark there. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that on. I'm not even going to take these off. If I took these off, the handles, I could totally do them a different color. But I would only tell you, do it a different color if you want to make them pop, okay? I'm not trying to, even though this is an older stand, I could do that and make it look a little bit more mid-century modern, but I actually kind of want the handles to tie in with the piece because I'm going to do it a distressed overall weathered effect, okay? So that's why I'm choosing to leave them. But just like I did with the sides and everything else, what I want to do is just get some black on there. I don't want to completely cover the brown and frowny veneer that's on it, because when you do a weathered look, you guys know that the reason why you're drawn to weathered looks is because if you look closely, weathered look just does not have one color in it, right? You have multiple colors. So if I'm using black and I'm using Bahama Jade and I'm allowing some of that brown to come through, then I've got 3 colors going on and it's going to make it even look even more weathered. Because, you know, think about when, you know, if grandma painted a door and she probably painted it in how many colors over the years, and then it sits outside by the side of the road and the weather elements cause it to peel back. The reason why it looks weathered to your eye is because it looks chippy, and you can tell it's chippy because you're seeing those multiple colors come through, right? So this is what I'm doing, 3 colors today, using my existing brown, so not totally covering it up, and 2 other colors for the top. So I want some of those peekaboos. And then, you know, I do sometimes where if I'm working on a piece where it works, I will leave the drawers in and just pull them out after and just do the top lip of it. Top lip of it, okay? Doesn't have to be hard. So now I've done the frame and I've done the darkening behind the handles. Now I'm just going to put a few little pops of black throughout. Because remember, Bahama Jade over the top, and I'm going to be using my fabulous chip brush, which I use over and over again. And I want it to have some peekaboos of that black, right? Not just on the frame, but there we go. So this is just one light color I'm doing right now. And again, painting with a direction. The drawer is long ways, it's rectangular. I want to paint in this direction. I don't want to go up and down. I want to, you know, make it look professional. There we go. So has anybody painted anything this week? What have you guys been into? What have you been up to? Anybody do any pieces like getting ready for Thanksgiving? You know, maybe painted their buffet a different color, or just did something to freshen up your space. All right. Love to know what you guys have been up to. Love those pictures that you've been sending in too. They are the best. Okay, there we go. So now let's do the bottom down here. Just going to kind of like do some dry brushing right over. Leave some of that brown. So some of you guys might be saying, heck, I could like totally make use of this dresser just how it is right now in terms of the front with that one light coat. So that's how easy it can be if you just put one coat of paint on it, right? Now let's go ahead and finish up the side over here, which this side is almost dry. Actually, this side is dry down here. Let me put some on the edge. And then we'll get ready for the belle of the ball, which is the Bahama Jade, right? So there we go. So you saw what I did. Same thing on the other side, right? You guys seeing that? So you do your edge. Again, imagine when you put your top coat on, you're always going to go linear, long ways with the shape of your piece in all one direction. So even when I'm applying the black, even though it's not all over coverage, I'm still doing the same direction with my brush, just not putting a whole lot on, right? Got lots of brown coming through. I want that. I love that. This piece here actually had veneer missing down here. So what I did was I took my, you can still see my sander over here in the corner. I took my sander and I blended it in. So what I do sometimes is if you have pieces of veneer that are lifting, if you get a sander with a really nice grit sandpaper that you can attach to it, let it sit on there for a second, and what it'll do is it'll just basically eat everything down nice and smooth. It's okay to have it like, you know, get that step down layered look. Oh, we got customers. Hey, we're doing a Facebook Live. Do you want to say hello?
Awesome.
No.
Hello.
So if you're wondering why I'm sitting here talking to myself, I've got all my friends on here.
I see that.
Say hey, friends.
Awesome. Hi, friends. And she's doing some incredible work as usual.
You're so kind. Thank you.
It's the truth. I mean, come on.
See, I have the best customers.
Well, here's the thing. If you didn't have all these friends on Facebook, you wouldn't be doing something right. So you're doing something right, correct?
Well, you know what? I'm glad you guys are here.
You know, it's the best part is you're willing to share your knowledge and experience.
Yeah, you know what? So many creatives, they keep it to themselves, right?
And that's
not fun.
I never did.
It is, right? Yeah, it is a shame. I think more people should share their gifts with other people, right?
I agree with you.
So happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
See, I'm telling you guys. You guys know that in a former life, I used to be a corporate gal, worked in human resources, and I always say that I love my job now because, let me just tell you, at HR, while I was very, very good at what I did, nobody came to say, I love you, I love my job so much, I love my managers, I love my coworkers, right? It was just the opposite. So you really felt like you came to work every day like a firefighter, right? Ready to put out fires. And so I was just saying to Caitlin here, who also works in the shop with me now, that it is I'm so blessed to be able to come to work, to wear my stretchy clothes, and to do what I love and to be able to hang out with you guys every day, right? And drink chai teas. Like, seriously, does it get any better than that, right? What do you guys think? So there you go. All right, so this is pretty much all dry, which I absolutely love. Gayleen is wavy from New Zealand. Thanks for being here, Gayleen. Hey, Marlis, how are you? She says, hey, customer. Heck yeah, right? So everybody's out and about today getting their last things that they need before, of course, many stores are closed tomorrow for Thanksgiving. Looking forward to it myself, just to kind of take a bit of a break and enjoy it with the family. You guys know we have a 17-year-old, which, where does the time go, right? So it's going to be nice tomorrow to be able to just hang out. What do you guys eat tomorrow? What's your traditional food that you like to eat? Can I tell you that I never had a sweet potato until I moved to the U.S. Had no idea why anybody would even eat a sweet potato. So then I met Matt. I'm Canadian. He's from here in the U.S. And, you know, I grew up on an island, which we didn't have the most exotic, let's just say, you know, varieties. And I never had a sweet potato, only the white ones. And so when I first had it, I'm like, this is not right. Why are these, number one, why are they orange? And number two, why do they taste sweet? Like, that is not normal. Donna, you were in HR too, and now you're retired, love doing projects. It is, right, Donna? Yeah, it is nice to be able to, like, this piece of furniture, Donna, doesn't talk back to me. It's awesome, right? It just sits here, it looks great, and she's laughing over there. My customer's laughing. Let me get my Bahama Jade. This is what I do. Yes, it's awesome, right? It just sits there, it looks pretty, and says, you know what? Make somebody love me. Make somebody love me today. You don't do Thanksgiving there? You need to move. You do, Gayleen. Okay, we're going to adopt Gayleen and send her over, all right? That's what we'll have to do. Hey, Marianne, thanks for being here. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Debbie, as well. Donna, exactly. Right? You know what I'm talking about, girl. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Sometimes we do jobs that just get a little bit too people-y, right? And yeah. So anyway, this is a job where I get to hang out with the furniture and it doesn't talk back to me. You're from Ontario,
Your
Canada, Tina.
customers do.
You're what?
Your customers talk back to you. Happy Thanksgiving.
They do, and I love that you guys talk back to me.
Thank you again
Oh,
very much.
yay! Have fun with it. Send me pictures. Post it on our page.
I'm going to start doing that for you.
All right. Happy
Bye.
Thanksgiving. See ya. See, what a happy place. Hey, Shirley. Well, thank you, girl. You can do this too. Just follow my directions. Honestly, it's not that hard. So what I just did was put down layers of the black velvet, okay? This piece is going to be done probably in about 2 hours, which is awesome. So I'm excited for this to get done. So it's still drying a little bit right here, but this is all dried. Looks good. So sometimes I teach you guys how to do blending techniques, right? You guys know I love to do the weathered wood effect. That was just something that I kind of came upon one day and working with my paints all in the same tray and by being able to do weathered wood effects by keeping your paint wet. In this case, I've let the paint dry, okay? So for this effect, the paint is drying. There's just a few more places. Let's hit these places real quick, in fact. That way we can just get this all done. I'm using my hairdryer today, so it might be a little bit noisy. My heat gun is at our warehouse. Yesterday, we finished filming our cabinet video, so I was using it for that, which don't forget, that comes out on Friday, my gift to you. If you want to know how to paint your cabinets, watch for that. This one has a lot of options. Tracy, I am from Newfoundland. All right, that's good. Let me make sure I got this off. Make sure I got this off. Yes, I am the person that people donate their old hair dryers to as well, okay? So, you know, they'll be like, Sonia, I've got some hair dryers and I know you do paint parties and stuff because it's no fun watching like paint dry, right? So I've always got tons of hair dryers around and they're always covered in paint. Sonia works for a Canadian company. You did, yes, right, very, very nice. Oh, well then maybe you get to have 2 Thanksgivings. That's always good, that's always good. Hi from Newfoundland. Oh, really? Oh my gosh, yes. We travel, right? Us Newfoundlanders, we go everywhere. We go everywhere. All right, so you guys see this piece really nice here, really well? Now let's go ahead and add some of our Bahama Jade to it. Maybe we can start with the top. Actually, you guys will probably see that the best. Not completely covered. Did that for a reason. Bahama Jade is a beautiful green teal color, right? When I called this Bahama Jade, it was because I remember flying over the Bahamas and you see that blue water that's just like right off the coastline. I love it. So now what I do is I take my shabby chip brush, dip it into my Bahama Jade, and now I start the effect to pull over the top of it, okay? You want to make your lines as straight as possible, and I'm not trying to cover up the black. I'm just doing that dry brush over the top of it, right? Didn't have to do the entire piece, and there are places where I just kind of like do a bit of a lighter hand with it with my brush strokes and a heavier hand, and what that does is it puts down in some places more paint, in other places less paint, and now we're starting to see some of that brown come through, which looks beautiful with black and teal. Let me just tell you, you can marry it up with lots of colors. This is when brownie, frowny furniture actually serves you well, right? A lot of times we want to cover it all, but I do like to leave peaks of it showing through because it just gives that nice warmth to a piece. And like I say, it gives you that third color that really makes it look super, super distressed, right? So again, my black paint is dried, and now I'm going over the top of it and leaving parts of it showing through. What do you guys think, right? Already starting to work it. And then at the very end, I do one more coat, and I'll show you how I do that. So let's go ahead and do the front as well. All right. Yeah. Are you running out of room, Gayleen, for your furniture? That's funny. This is the problem we all have, right? We all need like warehouses. Lots of space. Lots of space. And then muscles to help us lift it, right? Because that's how you get a workout with furniture. I'm going to do these inlays here on the side. Because that is what you'll see when those drawers are really, really pushed back. So I pushed them back as far as I could. A lot of times the drawers will actually sit up further, but I'm going to push them back just so I can really get in there. And then I'm going to do my dry brush. Got some touch-ups to do, but do you see how the second one is coming together, right? Thank you for the hearts. Hey, man, thanks for being on here. Happy Thanksgiving to you. And to George, I wish I could be home. All right, let's go ahead and do the second one here. I've got plans for this piece. So you guys, do you think you gravitate more towards colors, or are you someone that loves the neutrals? Let's take a poll, see who's on here. Do you decorate more with neutrals or more with colors? I think it's fun even if you are a neutral lover where you have neutrals in your house, but then you have a piece that is totally a pop, a punch of color, right? Maybe it's in your entryway, maybe you just paint a dresser for, you know, to have for storage in your space, for your mail, you know, for the junk that we always tend to hoard and put in places. So that's the second one right now. Pretty cool so far, right? Not done yet, but it's coming there. All right, let's add a little bit down here. Again, so I've got 3 pieces here. This is actually like a piece of wood here for a leg. You've got your straight part across. You've got your piece for your leg. So what I'm going to do is treat them all separate. Treat them all separate and paint them one at a time. I'm going to come back to the front again. I'll show you what I do. But let's go ahead and work on the side here. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. I'd love it if you guys would take a moment to share this video. That would be so awesome. Thank you for the love. All right, so let's go ahead and get some up here. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll do a sweep across here, but while it's wet, that's the key, then I can kind of pull it down. What's fun is, you know what? If you did a piece in some vibrant pop of color, wild color, it's so easy to be able to paint back over this again. So at any given time, I have full control with a brush and a $10, $10.75 can of paint to be able to just change it up whenever I feel like it, right? Whenever I need some paint therapy and I want to change. Because I know we love to switch things out, change out of curtains, you know, change out a wall color, that sort of thing. And sometimes it could be the most smallest change, but it just makes us feel so refreshed, right? We get tired. We get tired and we just want to change. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more right here in the center. Again, you're going to see more paint always on distressed items in the center versus the edges, because that's just the way distressing happens. Okay. All right, so let's leave that. Believe it or not, this top is actually dry already. So cool, right? Yeah, Debbie, I love Bahama Jade. I love it. I love it very, very much. Okay, let's get this other side done here. Let's see if we can turn it around here. Ooh, use my guns. Use my big old muscles to try to turn this thing around. It's a workout, right? Who agrees with me that if you were in the furniture world, you almost need a second person to help you, because some of these pieces are big and heavy. Now this one, of course, I can, you know, move around myself. But there are pieces that you fall in love with and you see for such great prices, and you're like, if I could only get it home. I could only get it home. Again, I've got round pops. That's the original brownie frowny wood. Let's make use of that. No need to add in a brown because the brown is supplied already to us. All right, let's do the legs. And I'll probably put some color on the back of it too, but I'll do that at the very end. So, you're supposed to tell me I missed the leg right over here. Where's Matt? Don't tell Matt, okay? Do not tell Matt. Let's see here. If you're captains, I'm trying to think what that would mean. Maybe you're referring to your furniture. As a shine to it. You do not. You can use one of my favorite products if you really feel you have inherited something that was super, super shellacked. You can always use a product that I love that's called Gloss Off. I don't think I have it near me, but it's made by Crud Cutter, and it is it's made for a pre-paint preparation. It's a pre-paint preparation product. Oh my God. Can you say that 5 times fast? Pre-paint preparation product. Okay, all right, I'm sure I should win an award for that. But anyway, you put it on, and what it does is it helps just kind of get rid of some of that gloss. So right now, what I'm going to do is, and I didn't do anything to this piece, that's all. They cleaned it and way to go. So now what I'm going to do is, remember how I say that this is all just looks distressed all over right now, but I want to kind of clean it up a little bit more. So now I'm just kind of go pick the center, and I'm going to lay down a little bit of extra paint in the center to create a layered form, right? To make it stand out a little bit more coverage of the paint on it. So I'm going to go ahead and lay down. I'm going to avoid my edges. I've already put paint on my edges, right? I've already built that up. So let's leave that as is. I'm going with very, very light paint strokes here, which is probably another reason why this piece is drying so quickly, is because I got a fan above me on, and I'm also going very, very thin with my layers, which is a great way, because I will tell you, don't glop your paint on. Not only will it take longer to dry, but you want to do it thin and give it a chance to soak into the last layer or into your wood versus piling it on. It's like when you put too much sauce on, right? Way too much sauce on. Are you laughing over there, Caitlin? Yes. Because you put too much sauce. I did that last night. I put too much spaghetti sauce on my noodles, okay? And there is a such thing as too much sauce, okay? There's a happy medium, right? All right, so there we go. See, do you see what happened? I laid some more paint down here, and now it just looks thicker in the center. It has more distressing around the edges, and I'm going to do that with the fronts as well, okay? So it just kind of brings it together so it doesn't look so uber distressed, and it really does pull it together. Let's do that front too as well. Last night I tried something new. I found zucchini pre-cut noodles, and I made myself spaghetti with zucchini noodles. It was actually quite good. It was really, really good. I surprised myself. I'll be sure to take a picture of this when I'm done as well, so you guys can really get a good close-up of it. Or maybe I'll take my phone off the tripod here in just a few moments. But I'm really liking how it's turning out. You guys getting ideas? Are the wheels turning? Are the hamsters turning? As I always say. All right, so again, more there. Treating this as two separate drawers versus just putting the paint here. I'm going to basically look at this piece as one entire piece, and again, more paint goes on the center, right? Leaving more of the distressing to happen around the edges of the drawers. And I'm excited because this piece is actually going to go to a young lady. So I think it's going to go in her bedroom. She's a young girl. This is going to be part of a Christmas gift for her. And so we've got to make it, you know, youthful. So that's why I'm not playing up the hardware, right? Even though this is a beauty of an old piece and it's older, it has that charm to it, but we're not going to make it look outdated, right? We're trying to make it look youthful and fun, you know, so it gets reloved. All right, let's push this right back in again here. Good. So now you see I'm going back over that, right? Just darkening up some of the lines and things like that. So you see how like it's getting softer, right? It's not as distressed looking at all, right? Hey, Hallie, yes, this one is called Bahama Jade. It's one of my favorites. I'm a teal lover, so we have two colors that I absolutely love so much to use. One's a teal river, it's like a blue teal, and then this is a green teal. So it's like a vibrant green, and it's amazing. So right now I'm just softening up my piece, keeping it distressed, but at the same time not uber distressed, right? Giving it some extra paint in places. Let's do this other side right here. So right now, if you can see, just by dry brushing a second layer over the top of it, leaving some of that brown and black. That's what we want. Love that. All right, let's go ahead and work on the other side. Okay. Love how this is turning out. more brownie frowny, right? It's coming together quite nice. I was going to say we have a ghost, but I think the heat kicked on. All right, let's put some more in the center of this side over here. Leave the distressing to happen. More around the edges. You guys catching that? You don't have to paint distressed if you don't want to. You could just use the paint for the properties of the fact that, you know what, you can get paint on, you don't have to prime. So the paint's made to dry in a flat matte look. For those of you who ask me though, you know, what if I want more of a glossy look? Absolutely. So what you do is you just use the paint, get it down, get the effect that you want, but then instead of using a wax, go with a poly, a water-based poly, and then pick a sheen, right? Because it comes in things like semi-gloss and high gloss. So if you were to paint something, for example, in a navy, we have a color which is a beautiful dark navy called Midnight Blue, and it's a very rich dark navy. If you want, you know, you could paint a piece in the dark navy, and then what you do is you'd seal it with your poly with a really, you know, glassy poly sheen, and then, you know, spray paint your hardware to be gold, or, you know, that's the kind of look that you're going for. So your choice, the nice thing is the paint's made so you can pick your favorite sheen, right? So I love how this looks. I absolutely love it. Now I've got to do, I'm going to put a little bit more distressing on here with a sand block. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Let's let this do its thing. It's almost drying. Okay. Let me grab a sand block real fast. You guys got any questions? Anything I can help you with? Can you paint over a piece that has been waxed? Yes, I've actually rescued pieces that people did not have such great luck on with waxing, and I was able to take them and just use our paint and paint it right all over it again, right? If you keep your paint all sealed up really good, how long should it last for? So Becky, honestly, I've used our paints probably up to like the 2-year mark. I always recommend, like, everything we make is fresh and made by hand poured. Like, can you see those boxes right there? This is the second half of all those boxes that will go out today to the post office. So literally, they're waiting for hand poured paints to go inside of them, and then they let loose and they come to you. So we've already sent out about 30 boxes today. This will be the second half going out today. So lots of paint going everywhere, but it's all made fresh, okay? But I wouldn't recommend that you leave it sit for 2 years. What I would recommend that you do is, you know, buy it when you kind of get close to your project. And then the other thing is, when you get a can of paint and maybe you've had it sit for a while, because obviously when things sit for a long time, it kind of like can separate. So what I want you to do is shake it really well, and then I also keep stir sticks. I also keep like plastic, cheap packs of plastic $1 knives, things like that. Also, you can go to the dollar store, you can get spatulas and things for $1, right? Just keep it for your paint toolkit, so that way you can whip it back up and kind of like combine all those things together, right? So how much can one jar paint? We always say 1 can of paint to 1 standard size piece of furniture. So I barely used any of this paint today, but I could probably at least get 2, maybe 3 out of 1 can for $10.75, right? So you want to think about that. Anyway, let me do some distressing with you real quick, and I'll actually, if you want to hang on here, I'll do some Pauline and take it through to the end. So we'll just keep going live here. You guys can hang out, drop me any questions you have, and we can chat back and forth. Oh my gosh, guys, this piece is looking amazing. And what happens over time is as it sits as well, right? You guys know with just any paint in general that once it sits, it actually starts to really sink in and it darkens. So beautiful. So I'm going to do a little bit of distressing. So it's still just a little bit wet, which I'll dry in just a second. But what I'm going to do now is add a little bit of distressing around the edges. Can you guys see that? I don't know if you can or not. Let's see here. Let's see. How about I take you in for a quick close one, all right? Deborah, yes, you can totally paint metal. What color did you do your bricks? I used vintage white. Okay, let me see here real fast. Let's go for a ride. Let's go for a ride. All right, bear with me here. Let me turn you around so you guys can see what I'm working on here. Can you see it? Is that a better picture so you guys can really see it? So right now, we've got the black going down, right? So a lot of times you see pieces that have this like black edging, right? Give me hearts if you can kind of see that and if it's picking it up okay. So what I've done is made it look like it's got like a color behind the color that I'm using, right? You can kind of see all of that. There you go, up around the top, a lot of the edging right here. So now I'm gonna do some distressing. All right, so now I'm going around the edges. Look how pretty that is, right? So it's all coming together. Oh my gosh. You guys, we've got stuff left to do yet. It's gonna be beautiful. Again, it's going to a young girl, so I wanted it to be really just, oh, look how nice that corner came out right there. Gorgeous, guys. So pretty. Let's put one over here as well to kind of balance it out, all right? Make sure we got some really good edging going on over here, like just like that. So now we're gonna do some down here. If you are ever sanding, it's always good to do your sanding after your paint is pretty much dry, because, and not wait too long, because what happens is paint cures, right, and it pulls into your wood. So if you can get it before it's fully pulled into your wood, it actually makes it much, much easier to be able to sand. So the fact that I'm doing this sanding so close to when I finish, like how yummy is that? So close to when I finish painting is allowing me to really take the paint off really easy, right? Because it's still kind of wet. Let's put a little bit on the handles. Because you know as well as I do that handles get distressed, right? So let's add some right there. I love a medium grit sand pad, so I can add some of the distressing in without having to, like, you know, kill my arms, because fine grit you might be scrubbing for a while. All right, let's go there. There we go. Hey, Ann, thank you, girl. This is fun, right? Like, here's the thing. There's really no wrong way to do it. If you just do the basic layers of the paint, the distressing really comes up to you, right? This is where you get to decide how much you want to have on a piece distressed and what makes you happy. So this is one of the pieces I was telling you, it's missing a piece of veneer right here. I love it anyhow because I'm trying to make it look old and wretched. That doesn't affect the structure of the piece, right? So here we go. How nice is that? Let's put a little bit more on the doors. So now I'm going to pull the doors out. Let's see here. Now I'm going to pull the doors out, and I'll do this with one hand. So let's do a little bit. Make the doors pop individually. Let's not make them all look like they are one big blob in the center. Give them some detail. So who's going to try this? Who is going to try this? Right there, another place. The veneer is off. Do we really care? We don't. You know why? Because we're trying to make it look old. So why are you trying to hide those things, right? Embrace the fact that this guy is old. He's been around a long time. And, you know, if you want to paint a perfect piece, go get yourself a perfect piece. In my world, I love this piece. It's beautiful. Guys, I paid $11.99 for this piece, and it was worth every single penny. $11.99, right? Gorgeous. Look at that, a little bit more right there. How nice that is. Love it, love it, love it. All right, let's push these doors in now. Sorry for the wild ride here. How nice that is. I love it. And now, guys, I've got to do some poly and seal it, right? So I'll show you what I do for that part as well. I think the girl who's going to own this is going to love it. So right there, my paint was a little bit wet. I'm going to take my hairdryer out. But here's the fun thing, okay? So right there, you could keep that if you want. I could do like more heavy distressing, but I'm trying to kind of keep my distressing all balanced. So all I do is take my brush and be like, oop, Sonia, you hit that with the sand pad. It wasn't quite dry. Let's go ahead and put a little bit more paint back on that. It'll dry back in, and it's good as gold, people. Good as gold, right? So easy. All right, let's put you back up on the stand here, and we'll finish up the last couple steps. I'm going to put a stencil on the top of this and finish it up. So what do you think, right? For those of you who are sticking with me, thank you. This is gold. You guys need to do this. Totally need to do this. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's get you back up here. Go back up here. Stay up here. All right, is that good? You guys see? All right, there we go. All right, let's talk about Polly here. But before we talk about Polly, and Polly's in the room because you know you should never talk about somebody behind their back, right? So Polly's sitting right here. So she knows we're talking about her. But let's go ahead and dry some of these parts. Thank you, girl. Matt's looking forward to having the day off tomorrow. That's what we're doing. Okay, all right, so now she's dry. She's dry. So yeah, tomorrow, I was joking and I said Matt's looking forward to having the day off to tomorrow. He is. And eating some, you know, some good food, stick to your ribs food. And I'm looking forward to doing some painting, doing some canvas painting tomorrow. But you know me, I just can't paint like, you know, scenery and Bob Ross type stuff. I have to have colors and do some stuff that's vibrant. So stay tuned. I'll show you. Maybe if I go live tomorrow, I'll show you what I'm working on. Okay. All right. Although I do love my Bob Ross. Who else loves watching somebody else paint? I don't know what it is, but it does make me feel relaxed, and I enjoy finding his YouTube videos. And I told Matt that he totally needs to get me that new Bob Ross mug where you put the hot water into it and like the scenery behind his big fro. You know what I mean? Hit the mountains and all the trees, all the pretty trees, all the happy trees all come out, right? Caitlin, nice to see you. Hillary, Sandy, thanks for being on here. Yes, Kelly, canvas painting. Canvas painting. All right, so I'm gonna poly with my favorite acrylic. It's Minwax Polyacrylic. Just like you get acrylic nails, that hard clear coat that goes over your nails. This is a water-based one that goes over furniture. It's awesome. It does not yellow, so if you do it right, it does not yellow. You just put it on. I switch up to use a different brush when I put my poly on. And the reason why I do is I want something that's flowy. Flowy, like flowy, soft, flowy hair, right? And because you want that so that way the parts of the brush actually cover everything. Now, I am doing this in a distressed style, so I'm not going to roll my poly on, right? I don't care if, you know what, in the sunlight on a bright day you can see my brush marks. I'm totally cool with that. But if you notice, what I am doing to help eliminate brush strokes is I'm using a soft, flowy brush, but I'm also going in one direction, and I'm not going to go back over what I painted, okay? So a light layer, don't put too much on, and do your light layer, and move on, okay? Come back and put your second coat on, but you don't want to be messing up. Because what happens is the poly is already setting up and laying down. So if I start to go over that again, I'm basically creating trails, like trails in the snow, okay? So when you've got soft, fluffy snow laying down, can you tell I'm Canadian? Can you tell I'm like using a snow analogy here? But yes, when the snow is laid down, if you're gonna stir it back up, you're gonna leave tracks behind, right? So when you lay down your snow, AKA poly in this example, put it down, let it rest, and don't mess it up, right? Leave it as is. Now, as soon as you put your poly down on the top, because gravity happens, us ladies know all about gravity, what happens is you want to make sure you get your sides next, because it will overflow to your sides, right? So let's make sure we got those taken care of. See, there's always offenders that happen, so you want to get those quickly, otherwise you will get big drips that's going to fall down over your piece. So get those as fast as possible. Now we're going to continue moving on and working on our other stuff. Kelly, thanks. Yep, it's called Bahama Jade. So let's go ahead. And what really happens too is it gives a nice sheen. The sheen I'm using, remember how I told you that if you want this to be a shiny, modern, contemporary piece, lay your paint down, brush it on roll it on instead of brushing it, and go with a nice classic clean color that you like, and then get yourself a sheen that is high gloss or semi-gloss, okay? So for me, the two color sheens that I use all the time in that polyacrylic that I told you about is the matte and the satin. I don't go any higher than that, because unless I'm doing a custom job I've probably had very few people. I have done some really nice high-end sort of like non-distressed pieces for people, but it's not my favorite to do, okay? And most people in my world, if they're bringing me custom pieces to paint, when I used to have a lot more time, and when I first started my business, that's solely what I would do for other people, is paint for other people. And so I've done a lot of those pieces, but it was very few compared to the shabby style pieces that I would do, right? Because everybody has their love. You can't be everything to everyone. You just have to pick whatever it is that you're good at and that people know you for, and the more you do it, you become an expert in your field, and you just keep doing that, right? So in my world, I'm definitely known as a girl who likes to distress, right? Take it or leave it, love it or not. I always say that the hater's going to hate and the painter's going to paint, right? Little Taylor Swift there for you. Just don't write music about all your boyfriends and tell them, okay? That's the only thing. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, you'll know what I mean. Caitlin, are you giggling in the background again? Oh. At my jokes? If Matt was here, he'd be like, oh, God. Seriously? She just said that? Yep, I just said it. I just said it. All right, let's do the other side over here as well, right? Hey, Deb. Deb, you said you can't draw. You can't draw. Well, you know what? You could always use something to get a basic form down and then go from there to help you out if you want to like get into designs and stuff. I've been really thinking about putting some of I told you guys I'm going to be doing some painting tomorrow, canvas painting. Thinking about putting some designs on furniture. We'll see, maybe we'll do a live this week if I have some time to do that. Getting ready to finish up my last kitchen cabinet job coming up this week after Thanksgiving. And it will be the very last cabinet job that I'm planning to take for the foreseeable future. You guys will see me much more on here live and helping you guys out with your questions and being a resource to help you guys. And of course, in my coaching group behind the scene, if you're trying to grow your business, take it from a hobby to a business, you want to get in there. It's only $14.99 a month. Get in there. We have an awesome group of ladies building community, helping each other out in there. And every week I'm in there, I talk on a topic to help you grow your business. And then we also do a live Q&A. We hang out and just kind of see what I can help you with as well, right? Because it's nice to connect with other people who are on the same path as you or just can help you or just a few steps ahead of you, right? To be able to give you some insight when you feel lost. And I know I have lots of DIYers and people on my page who just want some help and ideas to grow their business. So what do you guys think of that? What do you think of that? All right. You see it? You see it? It's gorgeous. I would actually do one more coat of poly, but I would let this dry. This is laying nice and flat and clean and beautiful. I'm going to put a quick stencil on it because it was requested. Bahama Jade. Yep, it's Bahama Jade. So let's go ahead and put our transfer on. What do you think? I think we should do it. You guys want to see me do it? Just kind of bring it together. I say we do it. All right, let's let that sit up. Let's see, will complete coverage be nice on a piece? Yeah, you could totally do that. Yep. So instead of doing any distressing, just cover it in entirely. Give a nice buff to it to knock off any sort of grit or any imperfections that might have just like dust landed in your paint, and then you're good to go and do your seal, okay? Let me go get the transfer that was requested that I put on this piece for a customer, and we shall do it together. Hey, Tracy, thanks for being on here. Casey, I love poly. I've actually used a lot of wax as well, but my personal preference is poly because I find it much more easier to work with. But there's times I love to use wax too, so it's really up to yourself. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me grab my stuff. All right, so got my transfer here. You see my white paste anywhere by any chance? No. All right, I'll grab one. Let's see here. Let's see here. We shall make it work. Okay, so this is a piece I'm working on for a local customer. It's going to go to her daughter for her daughter's room for Christmas. And so we've done it in black, allowed some of the brown to come through. We put Bahama Jade on it, and now we are going to put a modern stencil on it. Okay, it's actually called a transfer. It's from Chalk Couture. A lot of you guys have heard me talk about that and do some projects with it. It's really easy to use. You guys know I love my stencil. If you've been following me for years, I've been putting stencils on not just signs but furniture for a long time, right? So this is a different style that I love using because it gives me a different look, right? So this one here, if you ever use Chalk Couture, it actually has a screen that's built into it, so it really helps you with the bleed through. Now, I know exactly where she wants it, or how she wants it to look, rather. So I'm going to put it down. It has a sticky backing on it. Let's see if you guys can see here. Do you see where the hello is right there? So let's pull you down a little bit here. Hey, girl, hey, back at you, Jennifer. All right, there you go. Let's see here. So we put our transfer down. Now that I'm standing up, it's always nice to stand up, right? Let's see here. Let's try that again. All right, so I'm going to make sure that it's down where it needs to be. And now I'm going to go ahead and get my tools, all right? So my tools are, I'm going to use the Chalk Couture Chalkology paste. And let me open that up. Nice fresh jar. And let me get a squeegee here. Let's see. Let's see. All right. And we're going to put a white hello on this piece to make it pop. And then when I put my second coat of poly on, what it's going to do is it'll actually seal it in, right? So this is why I'm putting this on now. Imagine it basically polyed and sandwiched in between the piece. So there you go. All right, so yep. This is live. Feel free to hang out. If not, feel free to move along. Caitlin, you're still laughing over there.
I love it.
It's the truth, though, right? Like, seriously. If you're going to be on my page, you're going to be subject to how I run my lives. And so until you get your own page of your own, or you get to do your own live videos, then you know what? You can watch or move along. It's the truth. Love it or hate it. It's the gosh darn truth, right? So there we go. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So now what I do is I squeegee off any that's left back into my paste. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that off, all right? So basically I squeegeed over the top. I'll put my link up if anybody wants to use my Chalk Couture link. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull it off. And I've got a beautiful hello on the corner of this. So remember, it's going to a young girl. So this style font, modern font, is going to look really nice because that's just, you know, the age, the decorations that she uses, that sort of thing. Yeah, that's right, Tracy. Well, you know, Tracy, I always tell people that I have a ban and delete button, so don't make me use it. All right, let's see here. Let me flip this around so we can see here. Yep, this is a place for love and inspiration and joy and happiness. And if you do not fit that bill, then you know what? You ain't gonna be on my page long. All right, so hopefully, does this look upside down to you guys? I think this might look right now, right? Super! There we go. So what do you guys think, right? We put the hello on it, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So remember, it was completely brownie frowny. Now it's gonna go into a teenager's room, be your bedside table, and I think it looks amazeballs. Yep, absolutely, Linda. There you go. Love it. Good, Tina. That's what I'm here for, girl. I am here for people who want to learn, and you don't have to go all over the internet and figure out what kind of products you need and, you know, oh my gosh, do you have to spend $1 million? No, you can certainly make something look like $1 million. And all I did was, let's see, my dresser was $11.99. My can of black was $10.75, which I barely used any of. And my Bahama Jade was $10.75, which I barely used any of. So I could get like probably a good maybe 6 nightstands out of those 2 cans of paint if I really wanted to keep painting this particular style, right? So there you go. So I am in love with it. All right. So guys, thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for hanging out with me. What's that?
2 more days.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, thanks for reminding me. Caitlin's over here to the side, and she is helping me because today we are editing our kitchen cabinet video. It's going to be my gift to you on Friday, and for $10, it's regularly going to be $35. It's a brand new video, and it's basically, as you guys have heard, I'm retiring from doing kitchen cabinets, and I've taken all my knowledge and I put it all into one video. So for those of you who ask, will it work on my kitchen cabinets? Because I have this kind, I have this kind, I have this kind, or I have this kind, yes it will, okay? Because I've got my technique down to a science because I've been doing kitchen cabinets now for the last 2 years, and I've done almost 70 sets. So it's a lot of painting, all right? So you learn a lot. So I would not do silver handles on this because I wanted to make this, I didn't want to play up the age of the piece. I wanted to make the handles stand out, put a little bit of black behind them, and then use Bahama Jade over the front of them. But here's the thing, because I want to make the hello stand out, and I love the shape of the piece, the fact that it's a solid hard wood, that's the bonuses, right? Everything's in great shape on this piece. If I were to paint the handles, what would happen is those handles would really, really stand out, right? So think about how busy you want your piece to look and what the overall effect is going to be on your piece. If I painted this in black and gray and put silver handles on it or something like that, that would look absolutely amazing. Oh, here comes Matt with the delivery of paint. Come on in, babe. All right, time to get to work. I gotta fill all these boxes and get these out today. So this is my next part of the afternoon, guys. I want to say thank you so much for being on here with me, watching from beginning to end. And I'll take a picture too, side by side of the before and the after. If you missed the beginning, if not, go back to the beginning and see it because this is a lot of people give me questions on this of how to get two-tone effects and shabby distress because sometimes you know how your piece can look all zebra, right? So anyway, so cool. All right, you guys are the best. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.